So you want to get your life together. Here's some ideas for you. Here's a place to start. Number one, you're going to need a really good foundation so that you can build upon it and so that you can reference something over and over again as you're slowly improving your life in a drastic manner. So you have to understand it's going to take time, but you are going to see the improvements in small increments, and that's going to be a motivating factor. Okay. Your motivation is never going to come from something really outside of you. All of it is within you. So, what are your values? And for me, it's very easy to determine because I'm Christian. So, any questions I have, any, morals, uh, what I believe, it is all rooted in that. And so I can just go straight to the Bible. I can use ChatGPT, ask questions. That is my reference. That's pretty much it. Those are my principles. All my principles are in one place and I can reference it anytime I want. And I stand by that no matter what. And I'm kind of bending my life towards that. And I have seen a really great improvement in my health, my well-being, and just life satisfaction ever since I became Christian. So this is not me influencing you to become Christian. This is just what is working for me and an idea. So number two, after you got your values, you got your principles in place, you have a good solid reference point. You have to figure out what you want, what is important to you. And there's a couple ways you can do this. I like to go on Miro, which is a place where you can do, it's an online software where you can make boards and you can collaborate with people. And over there, I like to just make a giant vision board. And what I like about Miro is that it is a giant, giant board and you can do all sorts of things with it. Possibilities are endless, but I like to make a vision board. But something I recommend is that you actually write down what you want in life first. So for me, it's really easy. I want to be healthy. I want to have a family. And I want a career. I want a business. I want to have a business. And, there's umbrellas of, what comes under those things. And I think to a degree, everyone wants those, basic things. They want a good career, a good business, a good relationship, a good family. And it's all about, what do you want? Because baseline, people want those things, but you don't want just any relationship, most likely. If you're taking the effort to plan it out, you want something that is healthy, something that is worth it. If you're going to put an effort, you're probably the type of person that is like, I want something good and that's worth it to me. So what does that look like to you? And this is a good time to reference things. And that's the easiest way to create your vision, was with pieces of things that already have been created in the world, because you're creating something that doesn't exist yet. And that's exciting. So you can reference things like movies, or you can get your influences from Instagram, or people that, not that people you idolize, but people you look up to, people that inspire you. Take those pictures, take those moments, write it down first, what you generally want, and then make your vision board on Miro and put all those pictures, create sections. Okay, my relationship, I want to look like this. My health, this is what I want to eat. I want my physique to look like that. And my career, what am I interested in a career? And just throw those pictures on the board. It doesn't have to be a million pictures. I suggest at least 5 pictures for each category at the very least. Not too many. You don't want to go overboard because it's kind of too much. But if you get a good amount of pictures, you're going to notice you're actually creating a life. And all those pictures on one board, you're going to look at it and there's going to be a vibe. There's going to be energy coming off of it. And it's going to start to, build you up on the inside a little bit, and it's going to inspire you. And that inspiration is kind of where you're going to be able to take action from. Okay, so now that you have your vision, right? The next thing you're going to do is see, okay, I have my vision. I know what I want. It's clear. I can see it. What are the actionable steps you have to take now? Because, that's the only way to make these things real. So for your health, you want a specific physique. All right. Let's just say you want abs, right? So, okay, what entails that? I gotta eat healthier and I have to work out. And okay, so what workouts can I do? And you gotta scope it out. You gotta really write these things down. You know, abs, write it down. And what does it require? It requires a clean diet and it requires working them out. And then, so what are you going to do about your diet and working out? Are you going to get a physical trainer? Are you going to do it at home? Are you going to, look up YouTube videos and, learn about what's in your diet? Are you going to go to a nutritionist? Like, what are you, so after you write down, what are you going to do to kind of open that up, uh, open that goal up and literally like force it and like pull it in and like claw through it with your physical body. How are you going to do that? You have to, plan it out. So, that's just an idea of one category. And then something that I found really helpful is, if I want abs, what do I have to stop doing if I want abs? Let's just say I was super, super unhealthy and I just ate potato chips like all the time. All I eat is like processed junk and a soda. I'm gonna have to be like, okay, what do I have to stop doing? Write it down. What do I have to stop doing? I gotta stop drinking soda all the time. I can't have soda with every single meal and expect abs. I can't eat out every day for lunch at work. If I want abs, I can't eat Popeyes all the time. You gotta figure out, what is not equivalent to what you want. And there's going to be plenty of things in your life right now that are not equivalent to getting what you want. Because if your life, unfortunately, if the actions you were taking right now were equivalent to getting what you want, then you would simply have the things, but they're not. So that's all about, the digging in the dirt of like who you are as a person and your actions. What are you doing every day? And like, what do I need to stop? So you figure out that you got to stop eating crap and that you need to see a dietitian, a nutritionist, because you don't really know that much. But you have a vision. You want to get lean. You want to get fit. And maybe you're like, I don't want to go to I don't want to do my workouts at home. I want to go to gym. I really want to go all in. Or I want to do my workouts at home. I don't like going to gym. Talk it out with yourself. It's really fun to actually plan the life you want with yourself, because in this process you gain that motivation that people are kind of wanting to grasp out the sky that doesn't actually exist. You get that motivation from actually planning and getting closer and closer to the action and then doing the action. So then, okay, I gotta get a physical trainer. So how am I going to do that? Okay, then you do the research and then you find the number and you're like, well, it's like 12 in the morning right now. For some reason, I decided to plan my life at 12 in the morning. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to call and I'm going to set up that I'm going to see a trainer every Friday. And boom, like you are almost guaranteed what you want if you plan it right. Because all that's left is the action and the consistency. And that is literally the easiest thing. It is the easiest thing about achieving your goals is taking the action again and again and again. And the hard part is when things kind of start to oppose that. And then you figure out, okay, like I'm eating healthier, but all my friends, like whenever I go out with them, they want to drink like a fish. So I don't know if I can go out with them anymore if I want to keep my abs and if I want to stay lean and fit. And then that's where the real problem starts lying, is when parts of your life that you had start falling apart because you're changing into a new person. And so that kind of pull in those moments, that tension that gets that just naturally occurs when you're truly changing your life is kind of inevitable, but those are the hardest parts. That is always going to be the hardest part of achieving your goals is getting through that resistance. If you can get through that resistance and do the action relentlessly, consistently, you're golden. And the very last thing you have to make sure you're not doing is burning out. You cannot burn out. Don't do it. Don't burn out. If you sense that you are getting irritated because you are just grinding yourself so that you can do the goal, do it every single day, you have to slow down. You have to slow down, take a step back, look at where you are, and appreciate the work that you've done. You're underappreciating yourself. You're not recognizing where you are. Yeah, you're not recognizing your progress or where you're going. And you need to recognize when you need to take a break. And that doesn't mean literally turning off the goal and never looking at it again. It just means, okay, I think I'm going to have to reevaluate the way I'm doing things because this is stressing me out too much and not in a productive way where I'm actually getting closer to my goal. It's pulling me away from my goal. So, what can I do to stay close to my goal and stay consistent without me giving up? And then that's another part of resistance that naturally occurs when you're driving yourself toward your goals. You can get through these few things, if you can just plan out, have a vision, plan it, write it down, have a vision, know your values and your principles. If you will have that foundation and you have that clarity, it's going to be so much easier for you to execute. All you're going to have to do is the thing over and over again, and then keep checking in with yourself where you're burning out, where you need rest, where you need to adjust your goal. Where does your life need to change? What is going to have to stop in your life, And a lot of that is like reconciling within yourself and coming to understandings within yourself rather than problems with you being able to execute and do what you need to do. You can do anything. And once you plan it out, you can realize, okay, if I just stay consistent in these small, not in small ways, but in these significant amounts, it's literally inevitable to reach your goals. So, take it easy. Don't be too hard on yourself. Do yourself a favor and go and write your vision, create a vision board, write down what you need to stop doing, what you need to start doing for the specific goals, and plan your week around those priorities. Another thing that really helped me is prioritizing my goals first thing in the morning. So fitness for me is really important. And if I don't do it in the morning, I don't do it at all. And it's also the best time to do it. So I have it first thing in the morning to do. And the best thing that you can do for yourself is to give yourself the priority of your goals first thing in the morning. Knock it out the park. And you got one day in. It's about the repetition. It's about the commitment. And it's going to be tough sometimes. And sometimes you're going to miss a day. But take your body readjusting and adapting as a weakness. If you were actually a weak person, you would not be even able to try and start to create a goal or look at it or even try. If you're really weak, you would not even be trying. Okay. So if you're trying and you're readjusting, your body's adapting, your mind is adapting, your environment is adapting, you have to remember, don't come to conclusions about yourself that are not helpful. You have to recognize, this body needs training. Your brain needs training, and help it, aid it and comfort it and reward it so that it is driven to do more for you. And another thing that has really helped me is adjusting my environment so that whatever I'm prioritizing is very easy for me to do. So I have my yoga mat and my weights in a corner, and they're out and about. And every day I see it in the morning, I'm like, I got to do it. I'm going to do it right now. So, in what ways can you fine tune your environment so that you are your priorities are in reach? Like my yoga mat is not in my closet behind a bunch of crap, and one weight is here and one weight is in another room. And make it easy for you to make it inviting for yourself to actually achieve your goals and work towards them. So I was hoping that was going to be helpful for you guys, and I'll see you later.